20-year-old kids are making millions while you are getting liquidated on your altcoin loans. Internet capital market is the closest thing to the ICOs of 2017 that printed millions back in that times and is printing millionaires right as we speak. Most unfortunately missed this meta, as they missed AI. But what if I would tell you that there is a Solana gem with 100x potential that is carefully following this meta? From my point of view, one of the strongest projects in this meta and one of the most undervalued. With multi-million-dollar whales actually quietly holding it. You got it right, the thumbnail of this video is not a clickbait. Right now, I will tell you what internet capital markets exactly is, how it is printing millions at this stage, what's going to be happening next for this meta, and where are 5, 10, 50, 100x's actually are. As usual, most valuable alpha is packed at the end of the show. Do me a favor, press the like button, let's get into it. What is internet capital markets in the first place? This is the method that launched new millionaires pretty much in the last 2 weeks. Can you name the altcoin that made new millionaires in the last 2 weeks? You cannot. 42x's is something that the biggest coin of this meta actually did just in the last 5 days. Pretty insane if you would ask me. And all of this money, these millions of dollars, are actually looking to reposition, actually looking to make more at this stage. But let's dive into internet capital markets. What is it in the first place? Internet capital markets, the new way to fund ideas with tokens instead of pitch decks. Startups launch coins before they launch apps. Anyone can invest, speculate early, exit rich or early. So to finalize and explain it, let's imagine you have a software product like some SaaS or some mobile application. You can launch a tweet and then a special platform that is launching this type of products will actually launch a Solana meme coin for you. And people, what they're doing currently, they are buying into coins of these tech products. So in a way, people are saying that this is the next evolution of ICOs of 2017, because these are not just meme coins. This is like investing in more real tangible products out there. Some of them actually are real companies. Some of them actually have real teams. Some of them actually have monthly recurrent revenue, which is quite insane and quite cool. Unfortunately, most of the meta, as usual, are most likely rocks and vaporware that will be doing nothing, but we are here to really hunt for gems. Two controversial opinions on this meta that I wanted to share that I found very funny in the first place. ICM meta is essentially real companies farming and rugging crypto and meme coin digits to fund their startups, while most have no real use for the actual token. What a time to be alive. And then the next opinion. Internet capital markets. We are entering a new era where companies, startups, research initiatives, and more can all be launched as tokens. A new way to raise funds and trading ideas by using tokens on the blockchain, where owning tokens replaces traditional shares with ICM. Anyone with an internet connection and cryptocurrency can join in and invest. Crypto is the future, and it will continue to grow over time. Just two different opinions I found on the topic that I essentially wanted to share. Internet capital markets. Bunch of people are making a bunch of money in here, and you can see that large influencers, they're essentially talking about this meta all the time. FOMO is one of them, certain K views just in the last several hours, and this thing should be increasing and increasing and increasing. And FOMO is actually one of these people who caught AI quite early on and made a bunch of money with AI. And truly, the analogy that you might be looking into with this meta is that the closest thing that was present on Solana to this meta is definitely AI. AI seemed to be kind of dying out at this stage, and the real question is, will ICM will be able to attract these amounts of liquidity that AI actually attracted in the first place? And is ICM is actually going to die? So today we will check out the chart of the main coin out there. We'll figure out if the meta is actually going to die, or if the meta just had the first leg up, if it will continue with new runners arriving. And we will try to catch this new runner. We will try to catch and capitalize heavily, because I've done my homework, I've done my research. Today I'm presenting it to you. First of all, let's take a look at Loungecoin. Loungecoin is your main coin of this meta out there. So there's a company Belief that is launching these coins from just a post on X. So you can make a post on X and Belief will launch your coin on Solana right away, right? And this is how these things essentially work in the first place. They do certain internal checks and they do verifications to actually verify if the products that you're trying to launch this way are actually real software tech businesses businesses that are eligible to launch on the platform, right? And people are mainly buying coins from this platform because, to be honest, a bunch of people made millions of dollars and they are definitely eager to buy things provided by this platform in the first place, right? The second thing is Loungecoin, which is the main coin of this ecosystem in the first place. So you can think of it like your BNB coin on Binance. You can think like your Solana on Solana. You can think like your Hopeium on Hyperliquid, right? The real question with this matter, with the fact whether or not it's actually going to survive or die from these levels, is essentially in the chart of Loungecoin. If the chart of Loungecoin is bullish, if we're seeing new highs from Loungecoin out there, this thing will definitely be growing up like crazy. If not, if Loungecoin is done from here, nothing unfortunately be happening. I have a small bit of TA done on Loungecoin chart. I will just try to show my overview in terms of the whole situation that happened with this coin thus far. We can definitely see that we had 4 ways of growth for this chart thus far. This is quite bullish, to be honest, because usually projects have only 3 ways of growth, right? And after third wave, they usually find the top and they start to correct. In this case, it was 4. So it's definitely a very, very nice sign. Out of recent coins that had 4 ways of growth, we can essentially recall Troll. What happened right after it had a second top right here, started to consolidate and printed a new high right after these 4 waves of initial growth out there. We seem to be entering a stronger, prolonged, consolidated period out there, although I do believe we should be already in the middle of it. The chart of T-Coin also looked very, very similar before the pump to the chart of Loungecoin at this stage. Right here, you can essentially see it, right? 1, 2, we can say 3 right here, 4, second top, right? Some bounce before the eventual drop, this alley of despair, reaccumulation, and then expansion right after. So from the bottoms of the reaccumulation, it did how much? Bitcoin essentially did 8x, which is pretty nice if you would ask me, especially with size, because you can buy a $10 million market cap meme coin with size 100%. And to be honest, similar situation I do believe shall be happening on Loungecoin out there. It's like the situation is very, very similar to AI out there, because if you were not following AI meta, and I was definitely following the initial coins from AI meta, they essentially arrived somewhere in October. And in October, people were essentially mostly fading this meta in the first place. They were not paying attention. And what happened right after is that we had second wave of AI coin, short wave of AI coins, and the final fourth wave when Farcoin was actually reaching $2.4 billion in market cap out there. But most AI coins, they essentially were doing quite well in the short wave of AI coins out there. Situation, from my point of view, is quite similar currently to the first wave of AI coins. We had some runners, and if you would look at the chart of the Farcoin, essentially it was doing the same thing. It reached somewhere around $250 million in market cap, then it started to consolidate, and right after it actually went to show new all-time highs. I do believe something similar should be happening with Loungecoin out there, and I do think what we are printing here is actually the bottom reaccumulation formation for the cup and handle continuation out there. So this is essentially the main bet you shall be making, because if you think that the meta shall continue and if you want to be buying some bottomed out low caps in this meta, you have to at least be sure that the main performance of the meta, they continue to do well. The other point which is quite bullish for the continuation in terms of the market cap and price action of this coin is that the liquidity of this thing is only $1.6 million at this stage. This definitely suggests me that it's not that hard to actually push this thing even higher from these levels, because this liquidity, to be honest, is absolutely nothing. Worst case scenario I'm essentially seeing is us going back to this support area, somewhere around $150 million, but I would say this shall be the final accumulation before the reversal. So something you might be seeing here is here, small resistance at this level, resistance here, and continuation for higher as well. With this question being closed, and let's assume that we are betting on the continuation of this meta, the next question that arises: what actually you shall be buying? There are many plays that are still at the local tops. I won't be suggesting to be entering them. However, there are some plays, good plays, that I think are very, very nice for the entry at this stage. And from my point of view, the metrics around the project, the holders around the projects, they are way more strong in comparison to most of the stuff that is being actually launched currently. So I will actually show you a play like that right now, which I have done extensive research on. And the play I'm going to talk to you about is Ninja Coin. Just look at this chart. I'm specifically sharing this coin because I do believe this chart is bottomed. I do believe there is no better way to be entering this chart than now. But also be careful because liquidity and market cap ratio is definitely interesting on this one, which means that if people will be jumping in with sizable amounts at these levels, they will quickly pump up the price of the token right there essentially as well. I'm seeing that we had this major capitulation event right here. We had 2 bounces with corrections with essentially holders just selling at these bounces, right? And right now, what I do think we're actually forming the bottom of the cup and handle. If you zoom in, you will already see that we are slightly in the uptrend at this stage, which I think is just perfect. These are the perfect charts for all the meme coins that you actually want to be buying in. And now the explanation, how I found this coin in the first place, why I think it's actually a great play out there, and secret alpha. Who is actually holding this coin? Because once I checked on chain, it's insane. I just doubled my exposure to it right away. First of all, I found this coin through the TG channel called Bradley Cooks. I'm telling you, Cabal played $2 million in market cap. He essentially was sharing the chart of Ninja out there, right? The reason I tend to trust Bradley is because there are rumors on the market that Bradley is essentially the alt account of DGN. DGN is 9-figure Solana meme coin whales. He had 1% of Farcoin when Farcoin was at $2 billion in market cap. And he was actively just chilling it from $10 million. He was publicly buying it in his public channel. And here's just funny thing that he posted today. You can make 9 figures, but you'll still be an Indian. He is Indian in the first place. The same way, actually, as the founder of Ninja Coin is. And we will talk about the fact that the guy is doxed and things like that. So Bradley as well, he was able to catch a range of plays quite early. I think Wizard, essentially, he called 200K and it went probably to 7 to 10 million out there. He probably caught Troll quite early. He was also catching Selfie and a bunch of 100x meme coins. He was entering these things before the Cabal actually was entering. An interesting thing that he mentioned, I am telling you, this is the Cabal play. I don't know why. It just was something interesting, right? And I bought at $2.5 million right there. And unfortunately, it was obviously not a great entry, right? The chart was already reversing from this level. So I kind of bought at these local tops and I actually sold it around probably at this dump, like 700K. So it was very, very hurtful. And I definitely lost money on this thing in the first place. Right after essentially saw this chart closer to the bottoms. And I decided to research this coin a bit more. And obviously I researched a bit before buying. The first thing I liked is the website on the whole thing. So you can definitely say in comparison to all of your meme coins out there, to all of your even ICM stuff out there, this website looks very nice, very professional. You can see some people, some YouTube videos, you can see some stuff in terms of the feedbacks and things like that. Essentially what Ninja Chat is a wrapper around the range of AI tools out there, and it also wraps them in a way to provide certain shape or form of agents out there. So like you can use it to write things, you can use it to summon things in a very, very nice way. And it's also a very interesting thing that the founder of this thing is actually claiming that they're doing 40,000 MRR, monthly recurrent revenue. If they're doing something like that in a business that is called Ninja Chat AI, their valuation, just a proper valuation of the company like that. If they're doing 40K MRR, it means that they're essentially doing $500,000 a year. Conservative multiplier, I would say like it's a 10x at least. Obviously, it's just a wrapper in the first place. Maybe it's very easy to copy, but if they have MRR, it means that they definitely have a product market fit out there. And this is quite nice MRR. It's almost like a 7-figure business out there. I would conservatively say that real world valuation of this company, if these numbers about MRR are not fake, should be somewhere in the range of $3 to $5 million out there. I'm not talking about crypto, because in crypto, all of these valuations, they're essentially going through the roof. They're growing like crazy. And it's pretty insane to see that the company that should be valued in real world way higher is valued at 500K in crypto as a crypto coin out there. And one of the issues with all of these ICM coins that people are essentially sharing out there, that these companies, they're just farming the guys from crypto because they don't add any true utility into the coin. They don't add any crypto payments into the products, and they just LARP and they just farm the crypto communities out there. Let's figure out what the founder of this thing and what this guy is essentially doing in that matter. First of all, they added crypto payments almost right away. 4 days ago, they added Solana crypto payments, and they actually provided 25 5% discount for people who are buying it with crypto, right? Secondly, on the official page, they have the contract address, right? It's not a lot of followers, but you have quite crazy people following it. Bazinga, if you know this guy in the meme coins, he's quite crazy out there. R28, definitely a quite known whale in certain circles in meme coins as well. We've used over 80% of the fees collected through Belief and Meteora to buy back Ninja. Our goal is simple: support the coin and give back to the community that believes in us. App soon, special name. So like, it's interesting because you can see that they're working on the coin, and it's not that just the fact that they just work on the product. They actually try to integrate the crypto coin into the whole ecosystem. They actually try to do some things with crypto overall as well. Most of these projects that are being launched with ICM Meta, they're doing none of it. They just farm communities for crypto, they remove the CA from X after several days, and that's it. Like, they never just recall about these products ever again. Founder of this thing is also doxed, and let's listen to a small fragment of the video about him talking about the platform. And not about him just talking about the platform, but also talking about the launch, about the fact that they launched on Belief application. It's one of the earliest products that actually appeared there because they launched on the 2nd of May. And here's the chart of Loungecoin the 2nd of May. It was worth $5 million. So it's nice because at least they are not LARPs in the first place, right? At least like, it's not the project that was launched when things were like humping up already. It was crazy. They launched when the main coin of the platform was only at $5 million in market cap.
There's a lot of top AI chat models out there, but there's not an easy to use interface that lets you use all of them in one place, as well as has agents on top of it. So we built that at Ninja Chat. You can select any AI model that you want, and let's go ahead and ask it a question. We can say stock price of Google versus Nvidia versus Apple. And this will go ahead and pull the real-time data of all three of these companies and then display it in this nice chart, as well as give the related news down here, as well as financial reports, which is pretty nice. It'll also give the sources and the summary, so you know that the data is accurate. We can go ahead and ask it another question. Let's go ahead and ask it what the news is today. So what this is going to do is it's going to browse the entire internet and summarize it using an LLM. It'll go ahead and cite each source that it found, as well as find images and more data like tables to go along with it. So here, you can see that all of the news that happened today. And it's pretty accurate because it gives all of the sources. Another cool thing that you can do with Ninja Chat is you can visualize it. So let's go ahead and say visualize this in a mind map now. And this is going to go ahead and just visualize the entire news. And you can go ahead and see a summary. And if we just scroll back up, we're going to go ahead and see all the different topics that it's covering. In a visual sort of format, you can go ahead and drag them around, and yeah, that's Ninja Chat.
So what you can say, essentially, it's a wrapper around all of these AI tools, and it also has pre-populated ways to work with the data out there, right? I do believe it's quite useful because truly the issue is the same as essentially with crypto in the first place. The issue is with user experience. There are so many AI tools, but so few people actually know how to use them properly. Next 50 million coin on Belief app, Loungecoin, which is Ninja, no alpha here. What is Ninja explained in 1 minute video? Platform that combines all major AIs in one place. Most of these have no product, no active users, no revenue, and inactive founders. Meanwhile, Ninja sits at $1.8 million market cap, right now at $500K million market cap. Dev pushing out burn mechanism for Ninja. So yeah, this is essentially the comparison of the top coins in this niche out there in this meta. Most of them, yeah, even if they are like real proper products out there, the teams, they're not kind of like focusing much. And in terms of the dev, you can see that he's young, he's Indian, and he has a bit of the accent. But Polygon founders, they're also Indian in the first place, right? And it just nice tick inside me. Like, obviously the main question is whether or not they truly have 40K ARR here. To be honest, it's hard to believe at this stage, but let's see what this guy would essentially be doing moving further. And a bit of Hopeium, the team is sharing. We have many more updates coming soon. And the bull case is obviously for the Loungecoin to start printing new all-time highs. But if you thought that this is all of the information and this is everything I have to share about the project, I just wanted for you to understand what is it in the first place, right? I just wanted to share my thoughts on the whole build out, on most of the information I was able to find. But now we're coming to exact gold nuggets, as mentioned at the end of this video, because as soon as I have seen that, as mentioned, I just doubled my exposure to this thing. It's pretty crazy, it's pretty insane. Let's dive in. You know, there are a bunch of bots on Telegram that actually allow you to check out who are the main holders of the coin, right? And I essentially done that. So first I check out top holders, top 10, right? You can see that top 3 is not like a huge whale. But top 4, he has $400,000 in Loungecoin. He has $600,000 in Solana. Unicorn 70k, CVGT 80k, pretty insane. Number 5, he has 130k in Loungecoin as well. This one is nothing. Yapper 60k right here. Number 9, $1.8 million in Loungecoin, almost 1% of the supply. 500k in Griffin. So these are the AI OG meta guys out there as well. Number 10, Bitcoin, 150k, Loungecoin 60k, Aura 50k. So if you think that these are some randoms, you're totally missing the point out here. And this is the reason I do believe why Bradley shared in the first place that this is the cabal play, right? Let's check number 9, for example. We can clearly see on SolScan that he has 47 tokens and the wallet is worth $2.5 million at this stage, right? We can see that Ninja Chat, he has almost 2% of the supply and it's like top 7 coin in all of his wallet, right? And Ninja Chat just did 10x lower, right? So he had $100,000 in this coin. I'm not sure if he was selling or not, but he's still holding. He had $100,000 in this coin just several days back, and he's still holding. Let's check out number 4 as well, who's holding 3% of Ninja Coin out there. You can see he has a very interesting name of the wallet, rawdogging.sol, right? The value of the wallet is $1.1 million at this stage. So he has $4 million in Loungecoin, Convergent, Unicorn, Kaio, Horoscope, stablecoin. Ninja Cat is also like number 7. He has 3%, 17,000. Again, this coin just did 10x down. So he had $170,000 in Ninja Chat on this wallet that he did nothing with. He was just holding. Probably sold a bit, but he was just holding. And you have to understand the mentality of these people. They did not become Loungecoin whales. They did not buy hundreds of thousands on Loungecoin, right? They just bought and they were holding. Understanding this narrative first and just holding. This is the thing that actually generated most money for them. And this is why they're holding into this thing out here as well. But if you thought that there are just 2 7-figure wallets in the top 10, right? We can check something else as well. We can check something interesting and something pretty profound. Number 10, 11, 13, around 6 figures in the portfolios as well. But this one is pretty interesting. Number 19, 1.29% in Loungecoin, $2.35 million. We can check number 19. He only holds 1% of Ninja Coin at this stage, right? But the whole wallet balance is $2.7 million. Again, this guy, he did not make his money by buying hundreds of thousands into Loungecoin out there. He just bought it and he was just holding. And he's still also holding Ninja Coin as well. So the sum up I'm seeing at this stage, it's a working product. It's also AI, which is like still a very, very hot narrative out there. They launched not at the peak of like the pumpage. They launched when no one pretty much cared about Loungecoin. Loungecoin was at $5 million and this was the time when they launched. They have a Docs founder. They claim to have $40,000 MRR, which is quite hard to believe at this stage, but they have payments applied into the service and they also applied Solana payments just recently as well. They're actively working on the product. They're actively integrating the coin into the platform, into the product itself. They were mentioning they essentially use the fees from the platform to buy back a bunch of coins out there. The chart of this thing looks just awesome at this stage. They're sharing their X that many updates should be coming. This is your main bull case from my point of view. They have a bunch of whales still holding this coin at this stage, and they were not selling much at the pump to $4.5 million. I do believe it's essentially like we are at the ideal entry point, and your main bull case out there is the continuation of the price action on Loungecoin and continuation of continuous updates from this team as well. Last but not least, the message I got recently from probably one of the earlier viewers of the channel. Stan, what happened? I've been following you for a while and used to really value your insights. Lately though, something feels different in your content. Your enthusiasm doesn't seem genuine and many of your picks feel more like paid promotions than honest analysis. I miss the unique viewpoint that made me trust you in the first place. Don't know, man, none of the stuff was paid. None of the previous stuff was paid, but I was definitely going through like a darker period of my life out there. I do believe that, especially with me taking last several days off, I do believe more good things actually going to come on this channel as well. Let me know what you think about the overview, about the analysis that I've done. Maybe you think it's absolute shit in the first place, it's farmed and nothing has happened. I also actually was checking in bubble mumps and the current version looks quite nice, quite good from my point of view. Let me know, do you think that this thing actually has a chance to go to 10 million plus and higher and higher and higher? Because from my point of view, at least from the product point of view, from the coin, from the things that happen around, I don't see reasons for it to be valued at 500k market cap 100%. And in comparison to other coins from this meta, I do believe that this thing should be valued higher as well. And whales holding this thing also kind of support this thing. And I don't believe that Bradley just shared that it's a Cabal coin just out of nothing. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let's see if I shall be seeing you tomorrow. I'm not sure on that. Stay healthy and rich. Bye-bye.